What if winter wasn't just a season but a way of life? Welcome to Yakutsk, the coldest city on Earth, where temperatures dive to an unimaginable 71 degrees C. Here, survival isn't just about enduring the cold, it's about innovation, resilience, and an unyielding spirit. How do people stay warm, raise families, and find joy in such extreme conditions? Let's uncover the extraordinary lives of those who call this frozen city home. Yakutsk, the coldest city on Earth, lies in the Republic of Sakha, or Yakutia, a Siberian region over 3 million square kilometers in size, larger than Spain and France combined. This frozen land, with its icy rivers and snow-covered forests, feels remote due to its harsh climate. Despite the challenges, about 970,000 people live here, including indigenous Yakuts with a rich cultural heritage and other communities. Families adapt through tradition and modernity, sharing ancestral stories while children learn both Yakut and Russian, fostering resilience in this extreme environment. Yakutsk experiences winters with temperatures often below -40 degrees Celsius, occasionally reaching a record -71. This extreme cold, caused by the Siberian high-pressure system, is even harsher than conditions on parts of Mars. Daily life requires resilience. Frostbite is a risk. Cars run non-stop to avoid freezing, and breath freezes into ice crystals. Despite the harsh conditions, life continues. Markets sell frozen fish, children enjoy playing in the snow, and residents adapt creatively. Frozen pipes need heating, power outages make wood stoves essential, and electronics often fail. Schools remain open unless temperatures drop below -55 degrees. Survival demands careful preparation. Residents wear layered clothing and approach outdoor activities cautiously, turning their ability to thrive in such conditions into a point of pride. Supporting Yakutsk with renewable energy, better heating, and advanced infrastructure could enhance sustainability and offer valuable insights for adapting to extreme climates worldwide. What would you pack if you had to survive a winter in Yakutsk? Let us know your ultimate survival essentials in the comments below. Imagine living in a city where reaching the outside world feels like a monumental task. How do Yakutsk's people stay connected despite such extreme isolation? Yakutsk, nestled in Siberia, is a remote city that feels distinct from Russia's bustling urban centers. Located about 8,000 kilometers from Moscow, its isolated position underscores the country's diverse cultural and geographical landscape. Traveling to Yakutsk by road is challenging due to snow and permafrost. The Kolyma Highway, known as the Road of Bones, is one of the few available routes but remains difficult. Most visitors prefer a 7-hour flight, though harsh weather and limited schedules can complicate air travel. In winter, frozen rivers temporarily function as highways, demonstrating human adaptability in extreme conditions. Air travel plays a crucial role in providing access to essential goods and services, though maintaining airport infrastructure in freezing temperatures is demanding. Despite these challenges, the people of Yakutsk have built a strong, supportive community. Local markets offer goods from other regions, and internet and satellite technology keep residents connected. When severe weather restricts access, neighbors come together to assist one another. In a city where even rivers freeze solid and neighbors band together for survival, what ingenious methods keep the cold at bay and transform homes into sanctuaries against the relentless frost? In Yakutsk, the wood-burning stove is the lifeline of every home, running continuously for most of the year to combat the extreme cold. Beyond providing warmth, it is a symbol of hope and resilience, bringing families together to eat, share stories, and prepare for daily challenges. Keeping these stoves running demands significant effort. Firewood must be chopped, transported, and stored in freezing temperatures, where extreme caution is necessary to protect exposed skin. Each log represents hard work and preparation, underscoring that warmth in Yakutsk is earned, not guaranteed. With temperatures often dropping below -40 degrees Celsius, staying warm is essential for survival. The risk of frostbite or hypothermia shapes daily life, influencing how residents dress, move, and even breathe. Venturing outside requires multiple layers of fur-lined clothing and careful planning to navigate the unforgiving cold. With agriculture nearly impossible in this frozen land, how do Yakutsk's residents ensure they have enough to eat and drink? Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much, and if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? In Yakutsk, where extreme cold makes agriculture nearly impossible, food preservation is essential for survival. Sub-zero temperatures naturally freeze groceries, keeping them fresh for months. Fish markets, filled with frozen fish shimmering under the winter sun, are central to the community and reflect the resourcefulness of its people. Fish is a staple of the Yakut diet, with dishes like stroganina and thin slices of raw, frozen fish, celebrated for their simplicity and flavor. Eating raw fish also preserves its nutrients, which help residents endure the harsh cold. While food is abundant, water is scarce during winter as pipes freeze solid. Residents cut ice from rivers like the Lena and melt it at home for drinking and essential tasks. This labor-intensive process, involving axes, tools, and even tractors, requires strength, determination, and cooperation. Neighbors unite under the Siberian sky to ensure every family has access to this precious resource, a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. While Yakutsk's frozen fish markets and ice-carved water supplies showcase human ingenuity, how do these extreme conditions dictate every moment of daily life, from the way people eat to how they simply step outside? The extreme cold of Yakutsk shapes every aspect of life, including education. Schools stay open unless temperatures drop below -55 degrees Celsius. Below this point they close and families must adapt quickly. At -70 degrees, closures become essential, reflecting life's focus on resilience and adaptability. Daily routines in Yakutsk are structured to survive the cold. Residents begin their day by tending to wood-burning stoves, keeping homes warm before tackling other tasks. Breakfast is high energy and calorie-dense, featuring fatty foods like pancakes and porridge to fuel the day. Groceries are stored in naturally chilled areas, eliminating the need for refrigerators. Stepping outside is like preparing for an expedition. Multiple layers of insulated clothing, fur coats, and thick boots protect against frostbite, but even with precautions, the cold is unforgiving. Eyelashes freeze, cheeks burn, and every outing feels like a race against time. Beyond the frost and snow lies a community with a spirit as strong as steel. How do education and tradition thrive in such an extreme environment? The region's bilingual education system helps children become fluent in both Yakut, the indigenous language of the Sakha people, and Russian, the lingua franca of modern Russia. This approach preserves cultural heritage while preparing youth for broader opportunities. Yakut connects students to centuries of tradition, while Russian equips them with practical tools for education and business. Schools in Yakutsk provide small snacks, like fruit drinks and sweets, as gestures of care and to energize students for the cold climate. Beyond academics, the close-knit community thrives on mutual support, particularly during extreme weather. Neighbors share resources like firewood and clear snow and offer warm meals, fostering a safe and unified environment. With minimal social challenges in villages often comprising fewer than 1,000 residents, the community actively supports one another. A local proverb reflects this spirit in Yakutsk: the cold keeps us humble, and the community keeps us strong. Getting from point A to point B is no simple task when temperatures can kill. What keeps Yakutsk moving in such perilous conditions? In Yakutsk, walking long distances is difficult due to snow, winds, and frostbite risk, so residents rely on vehicles and public transport. Cars, minibuses, and snowmobiles dominate the streets. Snowmobiles, with insulated engines and reinforced tires, are essential in areas where walking is dangerous. Public buses and minibuses follow strict schedules to provide access to essential services while minimizing exposure to the cold. Maintaining vehicles is a constant challenge. Engines are left running to prevent freezing, and insulating covers are common, yet breakdowns remain frequent. Hazardous roads covered in ice and snow test driver skills, while frozen exhaust fumes create smog. Public transportation also faces challenges. Buses are heated, but snowstorms and mechanical issues often cause delays. Waiting at bus stops at -40°C requires layers of warm clothing, as exposed skin risks frostbite. Most residents only venture out for essential errands. Without underground parking, vehicles are left exposed, leading to frequent breakdowns. Frozen tools and vehicles on the streets illustrate the challenges of living in such extreme conditions. If you lived in a city where temperatures dropped to 71°C, what would be your biggest challenge? Share your thoughts. We'd love to hear how you'd adapt. In Yakutsk, survival is an art form honed through generations. What does it take to master self-reliance in a city so unforgiving? In Yakutsk, survival demands braving the extreme cold and mastering self-reliance. Residents become skilled craftsmen, repairing stoves, snowmobiles, and homes to withstand harsh conditions. Families work together, passing down essential skills like preparing frozen fish or maintaining tools. Many individuals dedicate time to crafting tools and equipment from raw materials in home workshops. This self-sufficiency is practical and emotional, fostering pride, responsibility, and strong family bonds. Isolation inspires creativity, as families tackle challenges such as cutting firewood and preserving food. Even laundry requires ingenuity. Clothes are washed by hand, freeze-dried outside, and thawed indoors. Life in Yakutsk revolves around resilience and resourcefulness. In Yakutsk, even food tells a story of resilience. What culinary secrets help residents stay strong in the coldest city on Earth? During winter, residents of Yakutsk gather for communal fishing, cutting holes in thick ice to cast nets and patiently wait for their catch. This activity fosters teamwork and strengthens community bonds essential for survival in extreme conditions. Once caught, fish is cleaned and prepared at home, following traditions passed down through generations. Some families cook it in salted water, while others preserve it using time-tested methods. Yakut cuisine reflects resilience and creativity. Stroganina, thin slices of raw frozen fish with a sprinkle of salt, showcases the ingenuity in preserving flavor and nutrition in a harsh climate. Traditional foods also include horse meat and frozen horse liver, which are prepared using traditional knowledge and consumed in a way that ensures safety and nutritional value. Meals often feature kumis, a fizzy fermented mare's milk, linking Yakut cuisine to its Central Asian roots. Despite limited resources, Yakutsk residents rely on fish, meat, and wild berries, demonstrating adaptability and connection to their history. Yakut food is more than sustenance. It embodies culture, community, and resilience. Fishing, cooking, and sharing meals preserve traditions and reflect a deep respect for nature in the coldest city on Earth. Home isn't just where the heart is in Yakutsk, it's the difference between life and death. What makes these houses so uniquely suited to the cold? Homes in Yakutsk are more than shelters, they are lifelines of survival. Built from wood for its natural insulation, they are often elevated on stilts to protect the permafrost below. Inside, wood-burning stoves provide steady warmth, operating for months to combat the severe cold. Insulated walls, double-glazed windows, thick curtains, and double-door entryways further preserve heat, showcasing generations of ingenuity and resilience. Sanitation in this extreme climate requires inventive solutions. Frozen water pipes make traditional plumbing impractical, so mobile toilet huts serve as a simple yet essential alternative. Showering is a weekly ritual in outdoor huts heated by wood fires, requiring hours of preparation. Melting ice blocks for water and thawing frozen laundry indoors are daily tasks, reflecting the constant effort to maintain hygiene in one of the world's harshest environments. Even in the coldest city on Earth, life finds a way to flourish. How do Yakutsk's residents find joy amidst the frost? Recreation in Yakutsk thrives despite its extreme climate, showcasing the resilience of its people. Snowball fights bring laughter to the snowy landscape, where children and adults share moments of joy. Frozen fields become soccer arenas, with players using thick boots, while sledding and skiing provide brief escapes from daily hardships. These simple activities infuse life in Yakutsk with normalcy and happiness, proving that even in the coldest places, joy persists. If you're fascinated by the resilience of Yakutsk's residents and want to explore more incredible stories from the world's coldest places, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more. Yakutsk's identity is also shaped by its rich deposits of diamonds and minerals, central to both its economy and culture. As a key player in Siberia's mining legacy, the city reflects a history of perseverance, transitioning from its early challenges to the thriving modern industry of today. Diamond shops sparkle amidst snowy streets, symbolizing pride and resilience for residents. Beyond economic impact, mining fosters a culture of hard work and innovation, embodying the unyielding spirit of Yakutsk. Yakutsk isn't just about surviving, it's about celebrating. What traditions keep the spirit of its people alive, even in the harshest conditions? The annual Isiak Festival is a vibrant celebration of the summer solstice. For a few days, the city comes alive with music, dance, and rituals. The festival unfolds in a colorful field filled with traditional tents, where participants in bright attire perform the osuai, a circular dance symbolizing harmony and unity. Rituals honor nature and its elements, with offerings of fermented mare's milk symbolizing gratitude for the earth's abundance. Traditional music and dance are central to Yakut culture year-round. The jaw harp produces evocative melodies that reflect the icy wilderness, while dances embody the rhythms of nature and the resilience of the human spirit. Spiritual practices rooted in the Saka people's history also remain significant. Spiritual leaders, often regarded as guides, help connect the community to nature and inspire hope. Despite modern influences, these traditions continue to preserve Yakutsk's heritage and offer a sense of belonging in a challenging environment. Yakutsk's resilience isn't just rooted in tradition, it's driven by innovation. How are education and research shaping the future of this frozen city? In Yakutsk, education is vital for survival in one of the world's harshest climates. Yakutsk State University plays a key role in equipping students with skills to adapt to their environment and turn challenges into opportunities. Students and scientists collaborate on permafrost research, exploring ways to mitigate its effects on infrastructure and the environment. The university's International Laboratory of Permafrost examines climate change's potential impact on frozen ground, with real-world applications in construction, transportation, and access to clean water. Education also bridges tradition and modernity. Students study advanced sciences while preserving cultural heritage, helping ensure ancestral knowledge influences future innovations. Beyond academics, Yakutsk thrives on innovation, from advanced heating systems to sustainable building materials. Collaborations with international researchers further enhance resilience, offering insights that could benefit communities worldwide. Surviving in Yakutsk requires more than physical endurance. How does the city's healthcare system tackle the unique challenges of life in the deep freeze? In Yakutsk, the distinct challenges of the cold climate have led to the development of medical practices tailored to address both physical and mental health needs. Advanced heating systems in clinics and treatments designed for cold-related illnesses demonstrate Yakutsk's healthcare system's adaptability. Medical centers in Yakutsk are designed to withstand the extreme cold, ensuring continuous operation during harsh winters. Features such as thick insulation, modern heating systems, and backup power generators maintain these facilities as reliable centers of care. Healthcare workers in Yakutsk address specific challenges like frostbite and hypothermia, which require prompt and effective treatment to prevent long-term damage. Clinics are equipped with specialized devices for warming patients and improving circulation, alongside educational initiatives to promote preventive care. The psychological effects of living in a cold and isolated environment are also addressed by Yakutsk's healthcare system. Seasonal affective disorder and other mental health issues linked to long, dark winters are mitigated through a range of mental health services, including counseling and community programs. Yakutsk has adapted to the cold for centuries, but now the cold is changing. How is climate change reshaping life in the coldest city on Earth? Yakutsk, a Siberian city historically adapted to extreme cold, now faces a new challenge: thawing permafrost. This frozen ground, essential for the city's infrastructure and daily life, is destabilizing due to climate change. As the permafrost softens, buildings tilt, roads crack, and pipelines warp, disrupting essential services. The Arctic and subarctic regions are warming nearly 4 times faster than the global average, contributing to these developments. In Yakutsk, roads are fissured, and costly repairs are needed to prevent structural collapses. Beyond infrastructure, traditional lifestyles reliant on hunting, fishing, and herding are under strain. Changing weather patterns impact fishing seasons and frozen river travel reliability. Residents must balance preserving traditions with adopting innovations to adapt. Local governments and researchers are testing solutions like insulated foundations and climate-resilient materials, but these come at a high cost, straining already limited resources. Yakutsk's future hinges on its ability to navigate these challenges while maintaining its way of life. Yakutsk's story is one of resilience, adaptation, and unyielding spirit. What other lessons can we learn from this frozen frontier? If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the latest video. What would you do if your monthly salary couldn't even buy you a week's worth of bread? In Cuba, a single loaf of bread now costs over $6, more than 10 times its old price, while families are forced to choose between food, medicine, and survival. How has a nation once admired for its resilience reached such dire straits? From crumbling agriculture to skyrocketing black market prices, this is the untold story of Cuba's food crisis, a struggle not just for sustenance but for dignity. Stay with us to uncover how this affects daily life and the impossible choices Cubans make every day. The Cuban economy is in decline, exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic, U.S. sanctions, and internal mismanagement. Agriculture, once a cornerstone of Cuba's self-reliance, is crumbling. With shortages of essentials like fuel, fertilizers, and functioning machinery, production has plummeted. The numbers paint a grim picture. In 2023, more than 4 million Cubans, representing nearly 38% of the population, were classified as food insecure. But what does food insecurity mean on the streets of Havana or in rural villages? For many, even basics like bread are scarce, not because of dietary concerns, but because there simply isn't enough wheat flour. Cubans, who were once issued 80 grams of bread per day, now receive only 60 grams. Refrigerators are increasingly bare, and the government struggles to supply even the most basic products. To understand the depth of this crisis, we must first look at the rationing system that dominates Cuban life. Decades ago, the government introduced the libreta, a supply book that determines how much of each essential item each family can purchase. Initially seen as a measure of equality, it has now become a source of frustration. Meat is an unaffordable luxury. When pork becomes available at around $10 per pound, people queue overnight, often needing to buy entire legs costing over $80. With an average monthly salary of about $125, many cannot keep up. Families must choose between food, medicine, and other essentials. At the heart of Cuba's food crisis lies a web of government policies that many argue exacerbate rather than alleviate the problem. What role does political repression play in stifling solutions? The same policies designed to stabilize the economy have instead trapped families in a cycle of scarcity. But why? and what can be done to break free from it. Cuba's food scarcity crisis cannot be understood without examining the policies meant to prevent it. One of the most controversial policies is the so-called lazy law or regulation that penalizes anyone who does not work or study with up to 2 years in prison. On the surface, it might seem like a measure to promote productivity, but what does it mean for those living on remittances or passive income? Meanwhile, another law allows the government to expropriate assets under the guise of public utility or social interest. Combined with widespread propaganda touting a projected 3% economic growth, these measures paint a stark picture of control amidst chaos. For many, the answer lies in the streets, where they hustle for survival, often relying on capitalist tourism to make ends meet. The effects of economic reform, such as the Tarea Ordenamiento launched in January 2021, continue to ripple through Cuban society. This policy eliminated the convertible peso, unified the currency system, and restructured salaries and pensions. Instead of revitalizing the economy, it unleashed rampant inflation and crushed purchasing power, making basic goods unaffordable for many. Further compounding these challenges, plainclothes police officers have the authority to stop citizens on the street and demand identification without explanation. In July 2024, the government introduced new measures, including stricter price controls and efforts to combat tax evasion, framing these policies as part of a wartime economy. Despite this, ordinary Cubans still face shortages of necessities and endure frequent power outages. So how does this impact the cost of living? How do ordinary Cubans manage their limited resources in such an environment? And what sacrifices must they make to keep going? Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Cuba's escalating cost of living paints a stark picture of daily struggles for its people. Basic necessities like rice, beans, and cooking oil have seen dramatic price hikes. A loaf of bread that once cost 40 cents now costs $6.40. Public transportation, electricity, and cooking gas prices have also surged, leaving many households struggling to make ends meet. Inflation and scarcity have fueled black market activity, where prices are often unaffordable for the average Cuban. For example, rice is now several times its official price on the black market. Privately imported goods, like branded snacks or foreign food items, have appeared in some markets, but their prices are so high that only a small portion of the population can afford them. This has created a stark economic divide. Subsidized goods from the rationing system are increasingly unavailable, forcing families to turn to inflated market prices. Even daily commutes have become a significant financial burden. Public bus fares in Havana range from 20 cents to 40 cents per trip. Shared taxis, or almendrones, charge between $4 and $8 per ride, making a daily commute of $8 consume nearly half the monthly salary of $160, based on the official exchange rate, though worth much less on the informal market. Sheila, a local resident, shared her experience. Her family recently took a taxi for a 6-kilometer journey to El Vedado, and the fare was equivalent to 1/3 of the average monthly Cuban salary. Sheila also recalled being stopped in Santiago de Cuba and mistaken for a genera, a term tied to outdated stereotypes from the era when locals were prohibited from freely socializing with foreigners. What do you think is the most effective way for Cubans to cope with these economic challenges, and should the international community play a role in supporting them? Let us know in the comments below. In Cuba, the day begins early for many as the struggle for survival drives their daily routines. Those with motorcycles often work as informal taxi drivers, waiting in busy areas to offer transportation. Meanwhile, others head straight to critical locations, hoping to secure affordable food before supplies run out. Amidst the ongoing energy crisis, state jobs and schools have adopted changes. Remote work, or teleworking, has become more common, a sharp shift from Cuba's traditional emphasis on rigid work schedules. In the private sector, however, survival hinges on sales and productivity, with food remaining the ultimate priority. Rice, beans, pork, and butter are considered staples, but finding them at reasonable prices requires waking up early, enduring long lines, and braving crowded marketplaces. Without these efforts, small businesses, known as MSMEs, struggle to stay afloat. Scarcity and stress have also led to troubling coping mechanisms, including rising alcohol use. A social worker in Santiago de Cuba remarked, "People forget their sorrows with alcohol, however. This comes with its problems." Alcohol, often of low quality, is consumed as a temporary escape, particularly on Santiago's vibrant but challenging nights. Limited supplies, like expensive roast pork or poorly made beverages, add to the frustrations. Alcoholism is not just a social issue but a symptom of deeper struggles in Cuban society. In Santiago, the issue is more pronounced, often escalating during the evenings when people gather after enduring endless queues and daily hardships. Crime, while present in all provinces, becomes another layer of difficulty for many. Assaults and thefts, even in daylight, reflect the increasing difficulty within communities. Daily life in Cuba is a cycle of resilience and resourcefulness. But while the individual fight for survival is tough, the power of community often makes the impossible seem achievable. What role do social dynamics and community support play in overcoming these hardships? How do shared spaces like parks and public areas become lifelines for connection and survival? In Trinidad, as in much of Cuba, the realities of daily life reveal both resilience and hardship. Homes are often crowded, with multiple generations living under one roof. Privacy, a luxury many take for granted elsewhere, is scarce. Parks have become a refuge, offering shade during the day for conversation and a place for romance at night. Water scarcity is another pressing issue in Trinidad. Ironically, while some neighborhoods go without water for months, others experience leaks from broken pipes, wasting this vital resource. Residents often have no choice but to purchase water through private services, which cost between $250 to $300 for repairs, more than a month's salary for many professionals, including doctors and engineers. To truly understand life in Trinidad, we spoke with Sheila, a young woman navigating the challenges of Cuban society. Sheila shared the stigma she faces as a local woman often seen in public parks. "They think I'm a genera," she explained, referring to a Cuban term for women accused of forming relationships with tourists for financial support. Even while sitting quietly in the park, she's subject to judgment and assumptions. As the community in Trinidad gathers to share, connect, and support one another, deeper issues simmer beneath the surface. How do these social dynamics reflect the broader decay of Cuban society? And what about those who are voiceless, the stray animals and forgotten lives that exist on the fringes? On the streets of Havana, stray cats dart through shadows, avoiding human interaction. In Santiago, groups of dogs gather under abandoned cars, searching for scraps. These scenes, while common in many cities, reflect a more troubling reality in Cuba. The treatment of animals varies widely across the island. In Havana, some neighborhoods show compassion, with residents feeding stray animals or adopting them. But in many areas, local activists report that cats and smaller dogs are sometimes used as bait for illegal dog fights or cockfights, these practices that persist as sources of entertainment and income in struggling communities. In Santiago, there are troubling reports of people stealing pets, including those with owners, either to keep them or sell them for cash. Hunger and economic hardship drive actions many would have once found unthinkable, reflecting a broader breakdown in community values and social support systems. Animal abuse is not just an isolated issue in Cuba, it mirrors the country's deeper social struggles. In September 2024, the government acknowledged a significant rise in misbehavior with animals, often highlighted on social media. This surge occurred despite existing animal welfare laws, suggesting the laws are insufficient or poorly enforced. The economic crisis has also led to a sharp increase in animal abandonment. Pet owners unable to afford care for their animals are forced to abandon them, while shelters in Havana report a spike in stray animals. This coincides with a massive wave of Cuban migration, as hundreds of thousands leave the country, leaving pets behind. Grassroots activism has offered a glimmer of hope. In April 2019, hundreds of Cubans participated in the country's first independent protest against misbehave with animals, walking with their pets and calling for stronger animal protection laws. However, enforcement remains a challenge. The National Center for Animal Health has noted that many reports of misbehave lack sufficient information for proper investigation, perpetuating a cycle of neglect. Cuba's environment, its forests, rivers, and coastlines, is also suffering from years of mismanagement and economic limitations. Intensive agriculture during the Soviet-influenced era caused severe soil degradation. Overuse of heavy machinery and chemicals compacted the soil, eroded its surface, and drained its fertility. Today, nearly 43% of Cuba's land suffers from erosion, while 15% is impacted by salinity, accelerating desertification. Deforestation is another long-standing issue. Historical logging and agricultural expansion strip much of the island's native forests. While reforestation efforts increased forest cover to 21% by the 1990s, the heavy reliance on monoculture plantations has reduced biodiversity. Many ecological preserves lack proper resources and enforcement, making them ineffective in protecting native ecosystems. Pollution compounds these issues. Agricultural runoff, untreated wastewater, and industrial discharge have severely contaminated Cuba's rivers and coastal waters. Over 600,000 residents, particularly in Havana, face water scarcity as dams alter natural flows, depleting groundwater and increasing soil salinity. Mangrove forests, vital for coastal protection and wildlife habitats, are in decline, covering less than 5% of the territory. Reduced freshwater inflows and rising sea levels threaten these ecosystems, which are crucial for mitigating the effects of climate change. Urban centers face significant air pollution, with outdated industrial facilities and vehicles emitting harmful pollutants. Without stringent pollution control measures, air quality continues to deteriorate, posing health risks to urban populations. Frequent energy shortages and blackouts highlight another critical issue. Cuba's outdated energy infrastructure struggles to meet demand, pushing the government to encourage renewable energy and conservation efforts. Businesses are now required to generate part of their electricity from renewable sources, and air conditioning usage is limited to safe power. As Cuba grapples with its crumbling environmental, the tourism industry continues to attract visitors from around the world. But does tourism offer a path to recovery, or does it deepen the divide between locals and foreigners? Many visitors come to Cuba intrigued by its unique political history. Eager to see what remains of communism, they hope to experience life under its restrictions, often with the idea that their spending directly supports Cuban families. Rodero and Trinidad are among Cuba's most popular tourist destinations. Yet, the tourism industry is no longer what it once was. Visitors now come primarily from nations allied with the Cuban government, such as Russia and China. This type of package tourism, complete with scheduled activities and controlled itineraries, limits the money spent in local businesses and reduces its economic impact. In Trinidad, local enterprises rely heavily on tourism. From craft vendors and private restaurants to room rentals and horseback riding tours, entire families depend on these activities for survival. However, maintaining a horse for tours is expensive, costing hundreds of dollars monthly, and cattle theft has made this business increasingly risky. Many report thefts to authorities but often face frustration as these crimes go unresolved. These cobblestone streets, steeped in over 5 centuries of history, tell stories of Cuba's brightest and darkest times. Yet today they also reveal an economic divide. While the historic center is polished for tourists, surrounding areas like Santa Ana are neglected, underscoring the uneven distribution of resources. For those renting rooms to tourists, location matters. Properties in the historic center command higher rates than those farther away, but all depend on foreign visitors. Private accommodations not only offer a more authentic experience of Cuban life, but also ensure that your spending directly supports local families. Hotels, while providing consistent electricity and water, often fail to offer the same personal connection. Some tourists view Cuba as a living museum, a glimpse into a bygone era. But how accurate is this perspective? While visitors enjoy the vibrant nightlife of places like La Casa de la Trova, with its live music and colonial ambience, the Cuban peso's decline means many locals cannot afford even basic necessities. Restaurants in these areas often require payment in dollars or euros, further widening the gap between tourists and residents. What lies beyond the tourist hotspots is rarely seen on postcards. How do the challenges of daily life for Cubans contrast with the polished image presented to visitors? If you visited Cuba, share your experiences in the comments. Do you think tourism can truly help local communities, or does it merely highlight the disparities? Cuba has long faced international scrutiny for its human rights record, with persistent reports of arbitrary detentions, restricted freedoms, and systemic discrimination. The July 2021 protests marked the largest demonstrations since the Cuban Revolution, with over 700 people, including more than 70 women, still imprisoned as of 2024. Freedom of expression and assembly remains heavily restricted. Unauthorized public gatherings are illegal, and independent journalism is suppressed. With all media outlets controlled by the state, dissenting voices risk harassment, imprisonment, or worse. Workers in Cuba face significant barriers. Employment opportunities are tightly controlled by the state, limiting individuals' freedom to choose their careers. Many endure unstable jobs with inadequate wages that fail to meet basic living standards. Harassment, discrimination, and the prohibition of independent labor unions leave workers without the means to advocate for their rights. Even the right to strike is not recognized. Conditions in Cuban security facilities reflect broader systemic issues. Overcrowding, insufficient medical care, and unsanitary facilities pose serious health risks. Meanwhile, discrimination against Afro-descendants, women, LGBTI individuals, and religious communities continues to undermine social equality. These groups often face additional challenges, including harassment and limited access to resources, particularly when expressing dissenting views. While human rights and labor rights reveal the human cost of Cuba's systemic issues, they are closely tied to a larger problem: corruption. How does corruption perpetuate these injustices, and what impact does it have on efforts to create change? Corruption and lack of transparency in Cuba pose deep and multifaceted challenges that continue to impact the country's development. According to Transparency International's Corruption Perceptions Index for 2023, Cuba scored 42 out of 100, indicating significant public sector corruption. This places the country 76th out of 180 nations, a ranking that underscores how entrenched the problem has become. One major factor is the Cuban government's control over media and civil society. Limited press freedom and the suppression of independent journalism make it nearly impossible to expose corrupt practices. Without public discourse or transparency in governmental operations, corruption festers unchecked. Efforts to combat corruption are further undermined by questionable hiring practices. Officials dismissed for corrupt activities often reappear in new positions within government or state-owned enterprises, perpetuating a cycle of unethical behavior. Corruption also stifles economic reforms and development. The Cuban government's control over economic activities, coupled with opaque decision-making, discourages foreign investment and limits private sector growth. Informal networks of bribery and favoritism become essential for conducting business, leaving ordinary Cubans to bear the brunt of inefficiency and inequality. Anti-corruption institutions exist in Cuba, but their effectiveness is limited. Without an independent judiciary or robust legal framework, these efforts are weakened. Restricted civil liberties and the absence of public oversight further enable corrupt practices to thrive with impunity. While corruption infiltrates every facet of Cuban society, its impact is particularly devastating in critical sectors like healthcare. How does corruption contribute to medicine shortages and declining care quality? As of December 2024, the Cuban government reported that over 70% of essential medications are unavailable. Out of 651 items listed in the basic drug catalog, 461 are either completely out of stock or only available in limited quantities. This dire situation affects patient care across the nation, leaving hospitals without even basic items like syringes. Many Cubans have turned to the informal healthcare market to access services that were once free, exacerbating inequality in healthcare access. The shortage of specialized medications and functional equipment, including those needed, has forced some patients to seek treatment abroad, an option out of reach for most. The crisis is compounded by a mass exodus of medical personnel. In 2023 alone, over 13,300 doctors left Cuba, seeking better working conditions and salaries abroad. This loss has significantly reduced the doctor-to-patient ratio, crippling the country's healthcare capacity. External factors, such as the ongoing U.S. embargo, further restrict access to essential medical supplies and equipment. However, internal economic mismanagement and resource shortages have also played a substantial role in this decline. As we conclude this journey through Cuba's struggles, we're left with a question: how can the international community, local leaders, and everyday citizens work together to build a future where no one has to choose between survival and dignity? If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Have you heard of a country in South America where dense rainforests stretch endlessly, yet the population is so sparse you might not see another person for miles? Suriname, one of the least populated countries in the world, is an overlooked place with a unique identity. Its official language isn't Spanish or Portuguese, and its history includes a dictator turned president. From glowing frogs in the jungle to a baffling electoral system, Suriname is full of surprises. With breathtaking nature and a rich cultural blend, it's a place like no other. Let's explore what makes it so extraordinary. Tucked between Brazil, Guyana, and French Guiana, Suriname is the smallest country in South America, covering just over 163,000 square kilometers, less than half the size of Costa Rica. Despite its small size, Suriname is a land of incredible natural and cultural diversity, offering a unique window into one of the most biodiverse and least densely populated places on Earth. More than 90% of Suriname's land is covered in pristine tropical rainforests, creating a sanctuary for a stunning variety of wildlife. In 2006, researchers discovered 27 previously unknown species here, including a luminous purple frog that appears to glow in the dark. Suriname's forests are home to parrots, monkeys, tapirs, and dolphins, as well as rare species like the harpy eagle, one of the largest birds of prey, and the nectar-eating bat, essential for pollination. Rivers conceal electric catfish, while the rainforest shelters strikingly blue poison dart frogs, known for their potent toxins. In stark contrast to this abundance of wildlife, Suriname is one of the world's least densely populated nations. As of 2024, its population density is approximately 3.84 people per square kilometer. For perspective, London's nearly 9 million residents live in an area 100 times smaller than Suriname. This low population density highlights how nature dominates the landscape, with vast areas remaining virtually untouched. Despite this, Suriname shows significant urbanization. In 2023, about 66% of its population lived in cities, with the capital, Paramaribo, hosting nearly half the nation's total population, around 241,000 people. Beyond Paramaribo, the country's wilderness takes over, offering a striking contrast to the city's bustling life. This juxtaposition between urban hubs and untouched nature raises important questions about how Suriname balances preserving its natural heritage with meeting the needs of its people. As we explore deeper, we'll uncover the cultural richness, historical challenges, and innovative approaches shaping this remarkable country's future. Travel back in time to a world untouched by colonization, where the land we now call Suriname was home to the Arawak and Carib peoples, who thrived in harmony with the land, crafting tools, finding sustenance in its rivers, and preserving traditions under starry skies. This balance shifted with the arrival of European explorers in the late 15th century, and by the 17th century, Suriname became a Dutch colony. The Dutch transformed Suriname into an agricultural powerhouse, cultivating sugar and coffee through the labor of Africans under deeply unjust conditions. Amid this oppression, resilience emerged as many escaped into the rainforests, forming Maroon communities that preserved African traditions and stood as symbols of defiance. Notably, in the 18th century, Maroons secured treaties granting them autonomy and trade rights, a rare acknowledgement of sovereignty by colonial powers. The Treaty of Breda in 1667 marked a pivotal moment when the Dutch exchanged New Netherland, including present-day New York City, with the English for Suriname. This decision significantly influenced the trajectories of both regions. Slavery's abolition in 1863 brought change but also challenges. To fill the labor void, indentured workers from India, Indonesia, and China arrived, introducing their customs and traditions. Today, Suriname's cultural tapestry is one of the most diverse in the Americas, where Hindu temples, Javanese markets, and Chinese festivals coexist. Despite its location in South America, Dutch remains the official language of government, education, and business, a legacy of Suriname's colonial past that sets it apart from its neighbors. Achieving independence peacefully in 1975, Suriname faced political instability, including a military coup in 1980 and the dark period of a historical event in 1982. But its journey isn't over. What makes Suriname one of the most culturally diverse and harmonious countries in the world, despite being among the least populated? Before we continue, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just press the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It means the world. It really supports this channel. And if you do that for me, I promise my team and I will do everything we can to make this show even better for you. Deal? True to its motto, various cultures, one country, Suriname is a cultural mosaic where ethnicities, traditions, and religions coexist harmoniously. Indo-Surinamese, descendants of Indian laborers, make up about 27% of the population. Maroons, the descendants of escaped African slaves, account for nearly 22%, while Creoles, of mixed African and European ancestry, comprise 16%. Javanese descendants, brought from Indonesia during Dutch colonial rule, form about 14%, and indigenous peoples, including the Arawak and Carib tribes, represent 4%. Smaller groups, such as Chinese, Lebanese, and Europeans, also enrich the country's cultural fabric. The religion in Suriname is as diverse as its population. Christianity, practiced by 48%, includes Roman Catholicism and Protestant denominations. Hinduism is followed by 22%, primarily among Indo-Surinamese, while Islam, practiced by 14%, is common among Javanese and some Indo-Surinamese. Traditional indigenous and Afro-Surinamese beliefs and practices further reflect the nation's cultural depth. Remarkably, Suriname exemplifies religious tolerance. In Paramaribo, the capital, a mosque and synagogue stand side by side, symbolizing peaceful coexistence. This harmony in faith is a defining characteristic of the nation. Suriname's culture thrives in its music, festivals, and cuisine. Coseko, genre blending African rhythms and European melodies, reflects the country's layered history. Festivals like Hindu Fagwa and Javanese Wayang bring communities together in celebration. Its cuisine showcases a world of flavors. Indian-inspired roti and curries, Javanese satay and nasi goreng, Creole dishes like pom, and Chinese dumplings all tell stories of migration, adaptation, and unity. Diversity in Suriname is more than a demographic fact, it's a way of life. Each community enriches the nation with its traditions, stories, and celebrations, making Suriname a living example of harmony and diversity. Despite being one of the least populated countries in the world, its rich cultural fabric and vast rainforests make it an unforgettable destination. Which aspect of Suriname's culture, its diverse ethnic groups, religious harmony, or unique cuisine, fascinates you the most, and why? Let us know in the comments below. Once a Dutch colony, it remains the only country in the region where Dutch is the official language, spoken by approximately 60% of the population. However, the most widely spoken language is Taki-Taki, a Creole language also known as Sran-Ntongo. Serving as the nation's lingua franca, Sran-Ntongo enables communication across Suriname's various ethnic groups, blending influences from English, Dutch, Portuguese, and African languages. Beyond Sran-Ntongo, Suriname's linguistic tapestry becomes even more fascinating. Languages such as Javanese, Sarnami Hindi spoken by descendants of Indian laborers, Spanish, Portuguese, Chinese, and several indigenous tongues fill the air in daily life. Indigenous groups, including the Arawak Lokono, Carib, Karienja, and Wayana communities, preserve their languages as vital elements of their cultural heritage, particularly in the country's interior regions. Suriname's Maroon communities, descendants of Africans who escaped plantations and established independent settlements, have also retained unique languages. Saramaccan, spoken along the upper Suriname River, is a Creole language shaped by English, Portuguese, and African linguistic elements. Similarly, Ndiuka or Akan shares some traits with Saramaccan but has distinct features. Other Maroon languages, such as Paramaccan and Iluku, add to this complex linguistic mosaic. In the bustling cities and serene villages, multilingualism is a way of life. A shopkeeper might shift effortlessly from Dutch to Taki-Taki, while a family might blend Javanese and Hindi during dinner conversations. This linguistic fluidity stems from both necessity and cultural pride. Schools emphasize Dutch to ensure national connectivity and opportunities, but families and cultural groups work tirelessly to preserve their ancestral languages for future generations. In Suriname, languages do not divide, they unite. Suriname's linguistic harmony raises an intriguing question. How does a country so diverse maintain its unity while preserving its many unique identities? The answer lies not just in its languages, but in the shared respect and mutual understanding that define this remarkable nation. But this unity hasn't come without challenges. Move to explore the traditions and values that hold Suriname together, and how they face the pressures of modern globalization. Suriname's presidential election process is unlike any other. The country's constitution, established in 1987, mandates that the 51 members of the National Assembly are elected by popular vote. So far, so familiar. However, it is these parliamentarians, not the general population, who are responsible for electing the president. To secure the presidency, a candidate must win 2/3 of the votes from the assembly members. If no candidate achieves this threshold, the matter moves to a larger body called the Popular Assembly, which includes regional representatives. Still no clear winner? The country can face a prolonged political deadlock, potentially leaving Suriname without a head of state, a scenario that became reality in 1991 when a stalemate among representatives temporarily left the nation leaderless. It's a truly unique political system, capable of producing highly unpredictable outcomes. But if you thought Suriname's voting process was complex, brace yourself for this twist. The country once elected a former military dictator as its president. Desi Bouterse, a controversial figure in Suriname's modern history, served as the nation's leader from 2010 to 2020. Bouterse's path to power began in 1980 when he led a military coup, famously referred to as the coup of the sergeants. Alongside 14 other military sergeants, he overthrew the government of Heng Chin Sen and established a military dictatorship that endured for more than a decade. Initially, Bouterse claimed his goal was to combat corruption and reduce unemployment, which affected 18% of the active workforce at the time. In practice, however, Suriname endured years of political repression and authoritarian rule. The darkest chapter of this era unfolded in December 1982, when 15 political opponents were detained at Fort Zeelandia and had an unwanted outcome that left an indelible mark on the nation's collective memory. After mounting international pressure, Butyrst relinquished power in 1987, but his time away from the political spotlight was brief. In 1990, he staged another coup, though this time without bloodshed, returning to a position of influence. Perhaps the most astonishing part of this story came in 2010, when Desi Butyrst was elected president through democratic means. Remarkably, this occurred despite him being the subject of an international arrest warrant issued by the Netherlands for drug trafficking charges. This dramatic political comeback raised eyebrows across the globe. It would be akin to a high-profile figure with a history of legal troubles being elected head of state in another country. It's a scenario so improbable, it almost defies belief. But while Suriname's political landscape reveals a history as turbulent as its elections, its economic and infrastructural strides tell a contrasting story of resourcefulness and progress. Its economy thrives on an abundance of natural resources, and its infrastructure tells a story of innovation and adaptation. Gold is a pillar of Suriname's economy, contributing significantly to its financial health. In 2021, the gold sector accounted for 8.5% of the country's gross domestic product. Large-scale mining operations contributed 58% of the output, while small-scale miners accounted for the remaining 42%. By 2023, gold exports brought in approximately $1.8 billion United States dollars, solidifying its place as a crucial economic driver. While bauxite mining once dominated Suriname's economic landscape, the sector has declined since multinational corporation Alcoa ceased operations in the country. Today, Suriname's oil industry takes the spotlight. The state-owned enterprise Staatsolies spearheads this sector, reporting revenues of $840 million United States dollars in 2022, with $320 million going to the national treasury. By the following year, revenues reached $722 million, contributing $335 million to the treasury. The company's refinery processes 16,500 barrels of oil daily, and it is actively involved in offshore exploration. Agriculture plays a vital role in Suriname's economy, with rice and bananas as standout exports. In 2018, the country produced over 273,000 metric tons of rice and 48,000 metric tons of bananas. These products remain a cornerstone of rural livelihoods and international trade. Suriname is also a leader in self-sufficient energy production, thanks to its reliance on hydroelectric power. Facilities such as the hydroelectric stations in Paramaribo and Nikari, alongside the Suriname Aluminum Company's station on the Blommestein Meer Reservoir, supply a significant portion of the nation's electricity. This sustainable approach underlines Suriname's commitment to energy independence. Did you know Suriname has been part of space exploration history? In 1965, the country hosted rocket launches for the Dutch Space Agency in collaboration with the United States. 4 Nike Apache rockets were launched from an improvised base in the Coroni district, strategically chosen for its proximity to the equator. This location was ideal for satellite launches, as it facilitated their placement into orbit. The launch pad, a modest structure of 20 meters by 20 meters, was enough to mark Suriname's contribution to space exploration. Which aspect of Suriname's story surprised you the most? Its role in space exploration, its gold-driven economy, or its reliance on hydroelectric power? Let us know your thoughts, and don't forget to subscribe and follow the channel to discover more interesting things. When we talk about Paramaribo, the capital city of Suriname, we delve into a fascinating blend of history, architecture, and culture. This city is a living open-air museum, boasting an incredible architectural style that seamlessly combines Dutch and Caribbean colonial influences. The streets of Paramaribo are lined with vibrant buildings and historic mansions, creating a distinct and memorable character. Recognizing its cultural and historical significance, UNESCO designated Paramaribo's historic center as a World Heritage Site. This prestigious recognition underscores the city's success in preserving its unique architectural styles and the harmonious coexistence of diverse cultures. Suriname's infrastructure, while modest, offers some surprising features. The country's road network spans just over 4,300 kilometers, of which approximately 1,100 kilometers are paved, leaving more than 3,000 kilometers unpaved. Intriguingly, Suriname is one of the few countries in the Americas where vehicles drive on the left side of the road, a practice shared with its neighbor, Guyana. When it comes to rail transport, Suriname possesses about 166 kilometers of single-track railways. This includes an 80-kilometer standard gauge line in West Suriname and an 86-kilometer narrow gauge line known as the Lawa Railway, which runs from Onverwacht to Sarah Creek. However, these railways are not currently operational. There were plans as recently as 2014 to reopen the line connecting Onverwacht to Paramaribo Central Station and to extend it to Johan Adolf Pengel International Airport. Yet, as of 2024, these plans remain unrealized. Suriname's waterways play a vital role in the country's transportation and trade. With 1,200 kilometers of navigable rivers, these waterways are integral to both domestic and international commerce. Many of them can accommodate ocean-going vessels with drafts of up to 7 meters, highlighting their importance for trade routes. The country's aviation network is also noteworthy. Suriname has 55 airports, of which 6 have paved runways and 49 have unpaved ones. Johan Adolf Pengel International Airport serves as the country's primary gateway for international travel, connecting Suriname to the rest of the world. Despite its modest infrastructure and unusual transportation quirks, Suriname's societal structures and cultural traditions reveal even more surprising elements. Suriname stands out as one of the few countries in the world without an army, a decision made all the way back in 1989. After a tumultuous era marked by coups and military rule, Suriname took the bold step of abolishing its armed forces entirely. This move was designed to prevent military interference in politics and to foster a lasting sense of internal peace. Today, the country relies on its police forces in cooperative agreements with neighboring nations, particularly Brazil and Guyana. Both countries have pledged to assist Suriname in the unlikely event of an external threat. Suriname also participates actively in regional organizations that prioritize security and collaboration. For instance, it is a member of the Union of South American Nations, which focuses on political, economic, and social integration across South America. Suriname is also part of CARICOM, the Caribbean Community, a group dedicated to regional development and mutual support in areas such as security and defense. Through these networks, Suriname benefits from shared resources and a sense of solidarity with its neighbors. While Suriname's decision to forgo an army might seem unique, it's not entirely unprecedented. Other small nations like Nauru have adopted similar strategies, relying on agreements with larger powers for their defense. With a population of over 500,000 people, you might expect Suriname to have a bustling entertainment scene. But the entire nation has just one movie theater, located in the capital city of Paramaribo. This small cinema serves as a cultural hub, screening a limited selection of films each week. For many residents, movie nights don't happen in multiplexes. Instead, they gather at home or in community spaces where films are shared and enjoyed together. This creates a sense of connection, turning what might seem like a limitation into a celebration of togetherness. This unique approach to entertainment highlights the resilience and adaptability of the Surinamese people, who have found ways to embrace global culture while staying true to their own traditions. But what does this say about how Suriname balances tradition and modernity? And how does the lack of large-scale entertainment shape its cultural identity? Tourism in Suriname plays a significant role in the economy. In 2016, the country welcomed around 256,000 international visitors. By 2018, tourism added approximately $73 million to the economy, and in 2019, it contributed about 2.6% to the gross domestic product, supporting roughly 5,700 jobs. For eco-conscious travelers, Suriname offers an unmatched experience. Its lush jungles host vibrant parrots calling monkeys, and even the elusive harpy eagle. With over 700 bird species, it's a paradise for bird enthusiasts. Beyond the forests, Suriname's rivers invite visitors to kayak, canoe, or embark on rainforest tours. Village visits provide a unique chance to connect with indigenous and maroon communities and learn about their centuries-old traditions. An incredible 94% of Suriname's land is covered by pristine rainforests, making it a leader in ecotourism. The Central Suriname Nature Reserve, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2000, spans 1.6 million hectares and shelters diverse wildlife, including jaguars, giant armadillos, and primates. Ecotourism here emphasizes sustainability and community involvement. Activities such as jungle trekking, birdwatching, and cultural exchanges immerse visitors while promoting conservation and supporting local livelihoods. Local guides ensure income benefits the communities, and eco-lodges blend seamlessly with the environment, offering comfort without compromising the ecosystem. Suriname's commitment to preservation sets it apart. Nearly 90% of the country remains cloaked in tropical forests. Protected areas like the Central Suriname Nature Reserve highlight its dedication to biodiversity and responsible tourism. Despite its potential, Suriname remains one of South America's least visited destinations. For travelers, this means fewer crowds and more authenticity. It's perfect for those who value discovery, cultural connection, and exploration over luxury and convenience. In Suriname, every journey is an adventure into a world untouched and full of wonder. What will you discover in this remarkable country? Whether it's the stillness of the rainforest, the warmth of its people, or the beauty of its cultures, Suriname offers something unique to every traveler. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a like and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Your support means a lot to us. Click on the video that appears on your screen right now. I'm sure you'll love this content. Comment below about the next country you'd like to see featured on our channel. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Nestled in the rugged peaks of the Hindu Kush in northwestern Pakistan, the Kalash tribe remains a hidden community where ancient traditions endure. Shielded by remote terrain, they have preserved their customs in natural harmony for generations, untouched by modernity. Could they be descendants of Alexander the Great's army? Their unique rituals, love-centered marriages, and resilience hold valuable lessons. Join us as we explore the mysteries of the Kalash, where history and tradition intertwine like nowhere else. But where exactly do the Kalash call home, and how has their remote location shaped their extraordinary way of life? Geography and location. The Kalash people, known for their unique customs and traditions, live in Pakistan's remote Hindu Kush Mountains, one of the world's highest and most challenging ranges. This area, often called the Land of Giant Mountains, is breathtaking yet largely unknown. While Pakistan, a diverse country in southern Asia, spans over 882,000 square kilometers and has more than 240 million people, the Kalash community numbers just about 3,500, spread across 3 isolated valleys. Their survival in such harsh terrain highlights Pakistan's extraordinary geography, from fertile plains to arid deserts and towering Himalayan peaks. These mountains, with their glaciers and rivers, sustain life and have allowed the Kalash to preserve their ancestral traditions and vibrant cultural heritage, reflecting influences from ancient animistic practices and regional beliefs. Isolated by rugged peaks and accessible only through a challenging journey from Chitral, the Kalash remain a resilient community, deeply connected to their roots amidst Pakistan's stunning northern landscapes. The Hindu Kush Mountains are described as breathtaking yet largely unknown. Do you think this remoteness adds to the Kalash people's mystique? Why? Comment and chat with me. While their geography offers isolation, it also raises intriguing questions about their origins. Could they truly be linked to the armies of Alexander the Great? Origins and genetic mysteries. The origin of the Kalash remains one of Central Asia's great mysteries. This ancient tribe is known for its unique culture, traditions, and heritage compared to surrounding communities in Pakistan, sparking centuries of speculation. A popular theory proposes they might be descendants of Alexander the Great's soldiers who stayed in the region over 2,000 years ago. While intriguing, this idea relies on historical accounts and legends, which remain speculative and unproven. Genetic studies show some similarities between the Kalash and European groups, but experts debate whether this points to Greek heritage or ancient migrations unrelated to Alexander. The Kalash's isolation in the Hindu Kush Mountains has preserved their unique identity and cultural practices. These perilous peaks have shielded them from external influences but also complicated research into their origins. This isolation has allowed stories of their ancient Greek connections to persist, while their distinct lifestyle and beliefs continue to set them apart from the rest of Pakistan. Their geographical and cultural seclusion has made them guardians of a heritage that remains a source of intrigue and wonder. As we delve deeper into the Kalash's unique beauty and cultural pride, one question lingers: how much of their identity is shaped by their isolation, and how much by something more profound? Physical characteristics and beauty. Travelers to northern Pakistan are often captivated by the Kalash people, a distinctive community celebrated for their resilience and unique heritage. Living in geographic seclusion for centuries, the Kalash have preserved their distinct culture and traditions. Their appearance, including light eyes and hair shades ranging from blonde to brown, has sparked interest and theories about their origins, with some linking them to historical migrations or genetic evolution from isolation. While these traits interest researchers, the Kalash view them as natural aspects of their identity. Studies exploring their ancestry suggest links to various populations or independent genetic evolution, making them a subject of ongoing research and curiosity. Kalash women, known for their vibrant attire and expressive artistry, reflect the beauty of their environment through their traditional clothing and warm, welcoming presence. Their colorful embroidered garments symbolize their cultural heritage and creativity, offering a glimpse into their rich history and joyful traditions. Beyond appearances, Kalash women's strength, resilience, and cultural pride embody the essence of their community. Their traditions inspire a deeper appreciation for humanity's capacity for creativity, perseverance, and the interplay between culture and nature, leaving a lasting impression on all who encounter them. Beyond their beauty, the Kalash embrace a way of life that offers unique insights into equality and personal freedom. Before exploring, I have a special 10-second request for all of you listening. If you can help me in any way, just hit the notification bell and hit that subscribe button. It helps this channel so much. And if you do that, I will do everything I can to make this show even better for you. Deal? Social structure and gender equality. The Kalash people, an indigenous community in Pakistan's mountainous north, exemplify cultural resilience and progressive values. Their society emphasizes personal freedom and gender equality, offering unique perspectives within their regional context. Kalash marriages are based on love and mutual choice, allowing both men and women autonomy in marriage and the ability to divorce or remarry. Kalash women actively participate in community festivities and social life, reflecting their cultural emphasis on inclusivity. Education is shared, with boys and girls studying together, fostering equality and mutual respect. This sense of justice and fairness is central to their society. Rooted in simplicity and tradition, the Kalash live harmoniously with nature, surrounded by the breathtaking beauty of the Hindu Kush Mountains. Their lives prioritize love, happiness, and communal well-being, reflecting a strong connection to their cultural values. The Kalash culture blends ancient traditions with values of freedom and equality, showcasing the richness of human diversity and the enduring strength of their heritage. As we explore the Kalash's unique customs and spiritual connections, one question remains: what secrets do their traditions hold about their enduring identity? Culture and traditions. The Kalash, a small community of fewer than 4,000 people, lives in a remote mountainous region of Pakistan, accessible only by off-road vehicles. This isolation has preserved their unique culture and traditions, which are distinct from the surrounding communities. The name Kalash is thought to derive from a historical term reflecting their cultural identity and beliefs. The Kalash are recognized for their vibrant attire and distinct appearance. Women wear long black robes called shut adorned with colorful embroidery inspired by nature and their spiritual beliefs. Their elaborate headdresses, decorated with shells, beads, and feathers, symbolize social status and cultural heritage. The women, known for their unique features, stand out in the region. The Kalash follow a spiritual tradition tied to nature and ancestral practices. This is reflected in their festivals, rituals, and customs. Their culture also emphasizes inclusivity and the importance of gender equality, with women enjoying significant freedoms and respect within their society. What do you think about the Kalash's love-based marriages and their unique take on gender equality? Do you think their traditions can teach us something about modern relationships? Let us know in the comments. Their traditions go beyond clothing and rituals and delve into the remarkable practices that make the Kalash lifestyle so distinct. Unique practices. Kalash women enjoy notable rights and freedoms, reflected in marriage traditions that value familial and community harmony. These customs highlight their egalitarian and practical values. One significant tradition is childbirth in a secluded space called the bashali. Women retreat here while having a baby or for periods of rest. The bashali serves as both a sanctuary and a spiritual haven, symbolizing renewal and cultural connection. Families provide support while respecting privacy, ensuring the well-being of women during this important time. While many Kalash women honor ancestral wisdom through this tradition, they also integrate modern medical advancements to ensure health and safety. In matters of marriage and divorce, Kalash women exercise considerable autonomy. They freely choose their partners based on mutual affection and can dissolve marriages if it aligns with their happiness, without societal stigma. These practices illustrate the strength and resilience of Kalash women, balancing personal independence with the values of their close-knit community. Through their traditions of marriage, childbirth, and moments of seclusion, the Kalash exemplify cultural resilience and the enduring power of women's autonomy, offering an inspiring perspective amidst modernization. Among their many unique customs, their approach to love and marriage is especially fascinating, challenging norms with bold traditions. Runaway marriage. One of the cultural practices in the Kalash tribe is marriage by elopement, a tradition that includes unique customs not commonly observed in other regions. In this tradition, individuals may choose to elope, with married women also having the option to remarry through mutual consent. Following an elopement, the couple resides with the new husband's family. Subsequently, the woman may return to her parents' home for a formal ceremony. If a remarriage occurs, the new husband compensates the previous husband with a sum of money and gifts, reflecting cultural norms related to dowry. Divorce is acknowledged within the community, and women have the freedom to seek it. This practice contrasts with broader societal norms in Pakistan, highlighting the distinct cultural identity of the Kalash. Disputes arising from these practices are typically resolved through mediation within the community. Kalash women exercise significant autonomy in choosing their partners, often expressing their preferences through letters. The tradition of bride price underscores the cultural and economic dimensions of marriage within the tribe. Marriage is just one aspect of Kalash's life. Equally captivating are their ancient religious beliefs that defy convention. Religious beliefs. The Kalash people, a unique ethnic minority in Pakistan, are renowned for their deeply rooted and ancient religious traditions, which stand apart from the dominant Islamic culture of the country. Unlike the majority of Pakistanis who follow Islam, the Kalash practice animism, a belief system that venerates natural forces and deities connected to various aspects of life and nature. Their spiritual practices include offerings, rituals, and traditional ceremonies, reflecting a profound connection to their environment. The Kalash honor the gods of mountains, rivers, and forests, integrating the sacredness of nature into their daily lives and celebrations. Their vibrant festivals, marked by music, dance, and communal rituals, bring their valleys to life with an energy that is as inspiring as it is distinctive. Amidst a predominantly homogeneous religious landscape, the Kalash's dedication to their ancestral beliefs represents both a symbol of cultural resilience and an assertion of identity. In an era of globalization that often diminishes traditional practices, They remain committed to preserving their heritage and passing it on to future generations. And when it comes to their celebrations, nothing reflects their spiritual connection better than their unique relationship with wine. Wine production and cultural significance. The Kalash religion has become a central aspect of their identity, distinguishing them from the predominant Muslim practices in Pakistan. The production and use of wine hold cultural and ceremonial significance in Kalash traditions, setting them apart from other communities in Pakistan, where alcohol is generally prohibited under Islamic legal principles. For the Kalash, wine carries importance beyond the social. It is a central element in their rituals and festivities. During festivals and religious ceremonies, wine is consumed communally and shared as a symbol of joy, celebration, and spiritual connection. This sacred and festive use of wine reinforces the unique identity of the Kalash and their commitment to preserving their distinct customs and traditions. Grape growing and winemaking have been traditional practices for the Kalash for centuries, passed down through generations. Although legal restrictions in Pakistan often complicate these activities, the community continues to advocate for their right to maintain these ancestral customs, which are integral to their way of life and festivals. For the Kalash, wine is not merely a beverage but a bond that unites the community and connects its present with its historical roots. The government of Pakistan, along with various non-governmental organizations, is actively working to ensure the survival of the Kalash community and the preservation of their rich culture, as their current population is between 3,000 and 4,000 members. To support this, programs have been implemented to promote sustainable tourism and celebrate their traditional festivals, recognizing the importance of their unique heritage. Don't miss out on more deep dives into the world's most isolated and mysterious cultures. Hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell to join us on every journey. Burial customs. The burial customs of the Kalash tribe, an ancient ethnic group residing in the remote Hindu Kush mountains of northwestern Pakistan, are unique and rooted in rich traditions. These practices are distinct from neighboring communities and reflect deep cultural and spiritual beliefs. Historically, the Kalash practiced open-air burials, placing the deceased in wooden coffins left in open spaces and adorned with their finest clothes and jewelry to honor their life and allow the body to return to nature. Due to concerns over theft and disruptions, this practice has evolved. Today, the Kalash bury their deceased beneath an upturned bed, known as a charpay or sin, symbolizing life after death and providing protection for the burial site. As part of their rituals, valuable items are respectfully handled to prevent theft, in line with the tribe's belief in the soul's continuity. Funeral ceremonies often span several days and include feasting, singing, and dancing to honor the deceased, reflecting a view of death as a transition rather than an end. UNESCO has recognized certain Kalash traditions, such as their meteorological and astronomical knowledge system called Shuri Jagek, as intangible cultural heritage needing urgent safeguarding, emphasizing the significance and vulnerability of their practices amidst modernization and external influences. Even in their homes, the Kalash express their rich heritage through architecture that harmonizes with the natural world. Architecture. The architecture of the Kalash tribe, residing in the Kalash Valley of northwestern Pakistan, showcases a remarkable fusion of practical design and cultural significance. Kalash homes are constructed using local materials like wood and stone. They are built in a terraced fashion to maximize space on the steep valley slopes and to prevent erosion. These houses feature flat roofs that serve as spaces for drying crops and communal activities. Inside, the homes are centered around a hearth, which is crucial for cooking and heating. The intricate wood carvings that adorn these homes hold deep cultural and spiritual meanings, reflecting the tribe's unique traditions and historical beliefs. Community temples, known as jastakans, play a vital role in the tribe's spiritual life, serving as sites for important rituals and ceremonies. The architectural design also accounts for seasonal variations, with thick walls providing insulation during winter and open designs allowing for cooling in summer. Despite the challenges brought by modernization, significant efforts are being made to preserve the traditional architecture and cultural heritage of the Kalash. These preservation efforts recognize the tribe's sustainable living practices and the cultural value embedded in their unique way of life. Their cultural connection reaches its peak in their festivals, joyful celebrations that showcase the heart of Kalash's life. Festival. Their rich traditions come alive in three major festivals: Joshi, Yuchal, and Chalmos. These celebrations are a vibrant display of dance, music, and age-old customs that reveal the essence of Kalash culture. Joshi, held in mid-May, marks the end of the harsh winter and the joyous arrival of spring. This festival is a social highlight where Kalasha men and women may find potential spouses. The air resonates with traditional music, and the vibrant sight of colorful attire adds to the festive atmosphere. Women wear bright dresses adorned with intricate patterns and beaded necklaces, while men dress in the classic shalwar kameez. This celebration not only reinforces cultural identity but also attracts visitors eager to experience its unique charm. Yuchal, celebrated in late August, is a pre-harvest festival where the Kalash community expresses gratitude for the wheat crop. This three-day event features singing, dancing, and feasting on traditional foods like cheese and wine. Women in their traditional dresses perform graceful dances, embodying their connection to nature and their spiritual heritage. Yuchal fosters strong communal bonds and highlights the tribe's shared traditions. Chalmos, the longest and most sacred festival, takes place in midwinter. Reserved for adults, it involves purification rituals, dancing, and ceremonial offerings. Participation requires a deep understanding of Kalash customs, and some individuals may undergo specific preparation rites. A unique tradition during Chalmos involves young men temporarily living in the mountains with goats, subsisting on goat meat and milk. This practice, rooted in cultural significance, symbolizes readiness to join the festival. If you could visit the Kalash valleys and witness their vibrant festivals, which one would you choose? Chilam Joy in spring, Yucha in autumn, or Chawas in winter? Share your thoughts below. But as we celebrate their vibrant traditions, a pressing question arises: what threats do they face, and how can their culture be preserved? Threats and conservation efforts. The Kalash, a resilient and culturally rich community, faces significant challenges threatening their way of life. As a religious minority practicing ancient polytheism, they encounter influences from surrounding communities that can pressure them to assimilate, risking their unique traditions. Environmental and social issues compound these challenges. Climate change disrupts their agriculture, while many young Kalash migrates to cities, leaving behind their cultural heritage. Sustainable tourism has emerged as a vital tool for preservation, offering economic support while showcasing Kalash traditions. Programs aim to ensure tourism is respectful and environmentally conscious. Efforts by the Pakistani government and NGOs include funding for Kalasha language schools and documenting oral histories, safeguarding their cultural roots. UNESCO's recognition of the Kalash as a cultural World Heritage candidate further highlights their importance. As one Kalash activist noted, "Our culture is a story worth preserving." The Kalash now navigate the balance between preserving their heritage and adapting to modern demands, offering lessons for protecting other endangered cultures worldwide. The Kalash story is a testament to resilience and beauty, but it's a fragile legacy that needs our attention and respect. If you found today's video interesting, don't hesitate to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Your support is very important to us. Be sure to check out the next video appearing on your screen. You're sure to love the content we bring. Please leave a comment about which country you'd like us to explore next. Thank you for watching, and see you in the latest video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time. What if winter wasn't just a season but a way of life? Welcome to Yakutsk, the coldest city on Earth, where temperatures dive to an unimaginable 71 degrees C. Here, survival isn't just about enduring the cold, it's about innovation, resilience, and an unyielding spirit. How do people stay warm, raise families, and find joy in such extreme conditions? Let's uncover the extraordinary lives of those who call this frozen city home. Yakutsk, the coldest city on Earth, lies in the Republic of Sakha, or Yakutia, a a Siberian region over 3 million square kilometers in size, larger than Spain and France combined. This frozen land, with its icy rivers and snow-covered forests, feels remote due to its harsh climate. Despite the challenges, about 970,000 people live here, including indigenous Yakuts with a rich cultural heritage and other communities. Families adapt through tradition and modernity, sharing ancestral stories while children learn both Yakut and Russian, fostering resilience in this extreme environment. Yakutsk experiences winters with temperatures often below -40 degrees Celsius, occasionally reaching a record -71. This extreme cold, caused by the Siberian high-pressure system, is even harsher than conditions on parts of Mars. Daily life requires resilience. Frostbite is a risk. Cars run non-stop to avoid freezing, and breath freezes into ice crystals. Despite the harsh conditions, life continues. Markets sell frozen fish, children enjoy playing in the snow, and residents adapt creatively. Frozen pipes need heating, power outages make wood stoves essential, and electronics often fail. Schools remain open unless temperatures drop below -55 degrees. Survival demands careful preparation. Residents wear layered clothing and approach outdoor activities cautiously, turning their ability to thrive in such conditions into a point of pride. Supporting Yakutsk with renewable energy, better heating, and advanced infrastructure could enhance sustainability and offer valuable insights for adapting to extreme climates worldwide. What would you pack if you had to survive a winter in Yakutsk? Let us know your ultimate survival essentials in the comments below. Imagine living in a city where reaching the outside world feels like a monumental task. How do Yakutsk's people stay connected despite such extreme isolation? Yakutsk, nestled in Siberia, is a remote city that feels distinct from Russia's bustling urban centers. Located about 8,000 kilometers from Moscow, its isolated position underscores the country's diverse cultural and geographical landscape. Traveling to Yakutsk by road is challenging due to snow and permafrost. The Kolyma Highway, known as the Road of Bones, is one of the few available routes but remains difficult. Most visitors prefer a 7-hour flight, though harsh weather and limited schedules can complicate air travel. In winter, frozen rivers temporarily function as highways, demonstrating human adaptability in extreme conditions. Air travel plays a crucial role in providing access to essential goods and services, though maintaining airport infrastructure in freezing temperatures is demanding. Despite these challenges, the people of Yakutsk have built a strong, supportive community. Local markets offer goods from other regions, and internet and satellite technology keep residents connected. When severe weather restricts access, neighbors come together to assist one another. In a city where even rivers freeze solid and neighbors band together for survival, what ingenious methods keep the cold at bay and transform homes into sanctuaries against the relentless frost? In Yakutsk, the wood-burning stove is the lifeline of every home, running continuously for most of the year to combat the extreme cold. Beyond providing warmth, it is a symbol of hope and resilience, bringing families together to eat, share stories, and prepare for daily challenges. Keeping these stoves running demands